Hi guys, thank you so much for joining in today. The topic, before I get into the topic, I just wanted to say that, this is like, I think the third time I'm recording something, and this is very new to me still. And I have discovered after publishing the introduction to the podcast that editing is a headache. I hate doing it. So I'm going to try to keep everything exactly the way it is, and just change the audio to make it more pleasant to listen to. And that's why I quickly wanted to mention that I am sitting in the paddock with my horses, and it's windy, and there are birds, very loud birds. So if the audio is too annoying, I apologize. And I guess I will try to move the recording inside for next time. It's just that for the last probably longer, 3 to 4 years, I've been leaving messages for my friends and relatives in the paddock while with my horses, and I've become so used to it. It's sort of my happy place, my place where, yeah, I just can let go and dig deep and just share my truth and what I'm going through. So yeah, it's been a very special place for me. So I thought, this would be the perfect place for me to record the podcast as well. But of course, I don't want them to be difficult to listen to. But we'll see how we go. I just wanted to apologize in case this episode is not pleasant audio-wise. Yeah. Okay, so today's topic is external validation versus cultivating inner growth. And this is a big one. It's actually a topic I can't fully cover. It'll take hours. I can't even think about all the stuff that would be involved because it's very broad. But just to just focus in on just a few things, and please share with me what your thoughts are, and how all this relates to you and your life. But yeah, so going on the spiritual path, there are always methods, right? From meditation to chanting to, I think even, what do you call it? Self-inquiry, I think, it's a method, or using the mind to beat the mind, to go beyond the mind. There's so much. They all have their place. There are good methods, like meditation. I meditate every day. It's very helpful. It's healthy. Yeah, there are healthy things and, healthy methods and unhealthy methods. And they all have their place. Well, I don't know about the unhealthy ones, but unless they're there for you to learn from them. But they have their place. But ultimately, the issue that you run into is when you start clinging to your methods, and then they keep you locked. They keep you locked in your mind and will stop you from transcending, from going beyond. And the other thing with methods is that it is always something outside of you. It's always something in the world that you need or that you're doing that is sort of taking you outside of yourself. When you are chanting, it's an outward thing, it's distracting. It quiets you and gets you into a space. But if you now have to chant every time to feel bliss, to transcend your mind and to be blissful. You are caught. You are not free. You are not realizing your true potential or your true nature. It is only in conjunction with chanting that you get a glimpse of being free. It's like taking drugs. You get that high for a little while and then it's gone again. But the drugs are not they're unhealthy, and chanting would be considered healthy. But both of them do the same thing for you. So it is very important that we stay vigilant, that we can recognize when we are using a method. That is great, that is good. Keep doing, keep using your methods, but do not cling and do not get attached. So they are the healthy methods on the spiritual path. In normal life, or normal people, because we're not normal, if we're on the spiritual path, we're not normal, which is a good thing. No, but for normal life, and you know what I mean when I say that, people cling to things that we can also call methods in order to reach a state of bliss. Usually that is love, being with another person. I mean, if you fall in love, oh my God, it's the ultimate state of, there's another person in this world that shows you a place in yourself that is basically what you are. It is that, space of pure bliss and love, and I don't know if there is a feeling better than that, that feeling, that initial falling in love. And people, I think, look for that, and they look for it obviously on the outside. It's someone else who gives me that feeling. So we sort of move through life thinking that my happiness is out there somewhere and I gotta find it, and you are hooked sort of on the world to fulfill you, to make you happy. You're relying on the world. You sort of have not discovered that happiness is you, that it is all in you, and it's all right there. You've just covered it up. So now when we sort of live in this way of looking out, what can I do to be happy? Then that makes us quite unreliable, because when we can't rely on ourselves for being content and being fulfilled and happy in life, then I think we start acting immorally. We start doing things to find our happiness that we wouldn't normally do. And then, of course, we are guilty. We feel guilt. We feel shame, because deep down we are good. We are all good. And when we make mistakes, it sort of comes from this model of, lacking, this whole belief, I don't have it. I need it from there. There's this whole, you need to be validated from outside. That's where all of our problems arise. So then you have, for example, if you think like my husband doesn't make me feel loved anymore, he doesn't see me anymore. So now I turn to my friends, my girlfriends, I'll go have fun with them. They make me feel like I'm, worthy. I forget my troubles. We laugh, and, suddenly you're planning your whole life around your friends, and they have to be there for you and make you feel good. And in that, you place an immense amount of pressure on your friends, and change the whole friendship sort of from a coming together to a I'm empty and I need you to fill me. And it might go both ways. They might do the same thing with you, and it just becomes a friendship of I'm lacking and give me. And that's also the type of friendship then I think people call, no, I don't know, what do they call it? Like, problem friendship, where suddenly all you talk about is problems. It just becomes this dumping ground of what's wrong in your life, which is terrible, which is an absolutely terrible thing to fall into. Yeah, and also what happens, of course, is that you're turning away from your marriage, your relationship, your spouse, your partner, who's meant to be that number one person in your life, and you're meant to share life together and make it better for each other. You are now sort of, because you're not getting from him what you need, and he most likely isn't getting from you what he needs, and there's no communication, and now you're turning away from him to fill yourself somewhere else, and he'll do the same thing, and the relationship grows apart. And it is really ultimately only because you have not recognized that you are love, that you are bliss, that it is your natural state. It's really just a recognition. Like, you just have to realize it, to recognize it, or to remember. You just remember. It's not something that we learn or that we have to cultivate or do, or there's nothing that we have to change to get there. It's just it's naturally our state, and we have covered it up with thoughts and beliefs and methods. Yeah, so we're then operating from a place of lack. Now we just need the outside world to give us what we think we don't have. And now you imagine everyone doing it. Now it's not just you doing it, but everyone's doing it. Like, what the hell what is happening in this world? Every human being running around completely depleted, empty, looking for someone else, something else to fill them. And everyone's doing it, and there's nothing to fill anyone. There's just a bumping into each other and causing a whole lot of pain and suffering. Yeah, but then there's also, a friend pointed out that sometimes it really does help to get outside influence, to get an opinion. Like, it's not just that it helps, but it's actually quite it's needed. Like, we need this connection, community. Like, where do you know, am I doing the right thing or the wrong thing? Am I seeking assistance and support, which is healthy, or am I just looking for something outside of myself that is already within me? Because talking to a friend, for example, like you have a problem with your husband, you talk to a friend, they can open your eyes, they can show you a perspective that you hadn't thought about, which will then soften your heart, and you just go, oh my God, I never thought of it this way. And something is entirely changed, and now you can tackle an issue that's now not an issue anymore. You sort of see it with different eyes, and you can show up in your relationship for your husband in a different way, in a way that is healing and coming together. It's something from outside of you that is now awakening something in you, is showing you something that you've had all along. The problem starts, I think, when you rely on your friend or that person to keep telling you that you're worthy. So someone can point to something that you hadn't thought about, a perspective that you hadn't considered, or to give you courage to tackle your dreams, to follow your dreams, and to give you that strength and that, wow, yes, and I'll do it, and it awakens something in you. But then, and that's great, that's so beautiful. But then the issue, I think, becomes when you hear it and you like the message, and now you need to keep hearing it because you can't see it in yourself. So now your friend or that person is becoming your method or your sort of validation, and you keep coming back to it like a drug. Tell me again, show me again. Can you do this for me? Can you tell me more? You keep bringing up the same problem maybe, and she keeps telling you to try to show you how it is, and it's just you need a bit more. Like with drugs, it takes a bit more every time until it's out of control. I went through that with this podcast. There's no way I was going to do a podcast, but then suddenly, one person told me we should do a podcast. And then another person said, hey, have you ever thought about doing a podcast? I think, what you say could be really interesting and help people. And it was this nudging, like there was the planting of a seed is what it felt like. It gave me this courage and this drive to do it. And, here I am. But it was just a nudge, and it planted something in me that I could then follow and grow within me. I didn't have to keep going back to my friend and ask, are you sure? And what should I talk about? And what should I do? And how? And there is you sort of like take the seed, but then you water it, because otherwise you have to keep going back to your friend because you're second guessing yourself. And then instead of that little seed sort of helping you, it just becomes this whole cycle of you depleting your friend, you draining her energy. But taking the encouragement and just letting it grow inside of you and watering and tending to the seed, then that's where the magic happens. Then that's where you can have the world show you something that's in you, and you grow it and look after it, and you blossom. You need to realize that seed is in you. You need to realize that this is an inside job, it's an inside growing, that you are the one watering, you are the one tending to it. No one else can do it for you. So yeah, in that way, when you have people in your life who believe in you, it is a huge help. It is almost like it's necessary. Like we do need a support network. You just have to make sure that you don't get attached to them, that you can sit back and just appreciate them for who they are and what they're doing and how much value they're adding to your life. And just relax into it, enjoy and cultivate what you see outside of yourself. Cultivate that inside of you. Let the seeds grow, and then also plant seeds, because you are coming now from a model of growth, from a model of, I have everything I need. And that means that I can now go into the world and give. I don't have to show up empty, looking for someone to give me bliss, to show me how to be happy. But you are happy and you are full of love, and now you can go out and give back and share that. And people feel that energy, people feel it, and they will love you for it, and they don't know why. They won't be able to put a finger on it, and it's just this energy that is so pure and beautiful and needed in this world. And it all starts with you. It does. It's in you. Find it and grow it. And if you have seeds in you that you don't like, jealousy, doubt, anger, don't pay attention to them. Don't water them. Focus your attention on the positives, on the things that make you feel whole, that are fulfilling, and water those. Just make sure that you always go in. You always want to go in and just cultivate that space in you that is loving. That space where you feel like your heart relaxes and softens. And it's from there that you want to live your life.